All right, we are recording. So go ahead, Carol.
Well, welcome everybody. I'm excited. It's our first Zoom together, and we want to do some quick intros just so everybody knows who everybody else is, since we've got several teams on here now. If you look on the bottom of your screen of the pop-up window where all the faces are, there's a little microphone, and to the left, to the right of that should be the word audio. Check those to make sure that you aren't muted, unless you have a whole bunch of background noise, in which case, make it muted.
Yeah.
Keep going to the right, and you'll see participants. You can click on that to see who all's on, and then keep going to the right. You'll see the word chat, and that way you can type messages to single people or to everyone. And way up in the right corner, there's a little 4 square, and you can click on different views. So the little 9 squares puts all the faces on your computer or your screen at once. The others, you just get a row of them, so you can kind of play around with that. All right, so I'm Carol Saboni. I am a certified health coach, and my husband is Rick Saboni. You can see his name couple squares down. Wave, Rick.
Hey, how you doing?
And then we've got some other gals that are on my leadership team. You want to go ahead and introduce yourselves, and then we'll get to the others.
You want to start, Deb?
Carol, can you say where you're at so everybody kind of knows where you're at?
I am Palm Coast, Florida. We're on the East Coast, so it's 9:30 here.
Okay, I'm sorry, Carol, did you say you wanted all of us just to go ahead and get started here?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Deb Knapp. I'm a certified health coach. I live in Palm Coast. I'm so excited about, what? What did you say?
I said, and she's my coach.
Yeah. Yes, I'm Carol's coach, and I'm also Terry's coach, and very privileged and honored to be so as well. And I'm so excited about this challenge. I can't wait to hear from everybody. Terry, would you like to go next?
All right, I'm Terry Wandberg. I'm a certified health coach, and I live in Fair, Iowa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I'll turn it over. Let's see. I guess you'd be next, Maureen. I'm Maureen's health coach, I guess.
I'm Maureen, and I'm a certified health coach too. And I'm real excited to be on this call with you and learn with you and participate with the challenge. I'm from Iowa, Greenfield, Iowa. And so I'm glad we're here. Where's Teresa? Teresa, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, Teresa Huff. Maureen is my health coach, and I am from Bowling Springs, Oklahoma.
Okay, and WD and Sharon, there's some more coaches of mine on my team. Want to introduce yourselves and tell them where you are?
Right now we're in Hawthorne, Florida. We stay in Palm Coast some of the time. And should I introduce some of mine, or you were going to introduce the rest of yours?
No, go ahead.
Susan is our niece, and Kay that's on the phone is
okay.
And then WD.
I do.
All right, and we got Dan and Shauna. It looks like your microphone is muted at the moment. There we go. Dan and Shauna.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
You guys are in Florida too, right?
Yep, Palm Coast.
Okay.
Welcome.
Dan's a certified health coach as well. Any of your folks on?
Not that I see, no.
Okay.
Okay, I got a couple down there. Should I introduce them?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, my friend Shelly Hewitt's down there. How you doing, Shelly? I'm glad you came back. I was afraid I lost you. And then my friend Mike Fisher. Hi, Mike. We're all from Iowa here. And then my lovely sister Sean. She's in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Sean.
Hi. And I have the gal right under her, Jessie Whitley. She's a fabulous team room leader for us, and she has a magnificent team of, I think, 15 people.
18.
Good.
And they are just a bunch of crazy, wild exercise enthusiasts, and lots of them are already very healthy, and they're just having a blast. And Jessie, what can you say about the challenge so far? This is a whole new experience for you.
It is. I think my favorite thing is just gathering with this team of people and focusing on getting healthy together. And I just love seeing them check in and tell me what they're doing and what they're changing and where their struggles are. It's just fun.
Cool.
Well, good. Thanks so much for doing that. Who else have we not introduced?
I have a coach that called in. Her name is Bethany Morley. Hey, Beth, can you introduce yourself, honey?
Hi, I'm Beth. I'm from Palm Coast, but I'm going to school at BYU right now. So I'm in Provo, Utah.
Awesome.
And I'm just getting started. And I love the challenge. It's been a lot of fun. I got my roommate doing it, and she's in the program now, and she really likes it.
Cool.
That's awesome, honey. Thank you.
So all together, we have some great showings from all of our teams, it looks like, and that's wonderful. So we are excited to get started. This first Zoom, we wanted to talk about your health assessments so that we can kind of get clear about where you're starting in your journey at this point. And some of us have been on that journey for a long time. So we're all at different places, and that's fine. We can always move one step closer to getting healthier. There's always some room for improvements, and that's what we do, is help each other get that next step forward. So tonight, that's where we're going to begin. So how about a show of hands for those who have done these health assessments?
Ooh, yes, yes.
Okay, good. So you've all got some idea of, at least that's kind of like a Kodak moment. It's just a shot in time of what you answered in that moment. So how many of you were less than satisfied with your results? Anybody?
You're not alone.
You're not
Not
alone.
alone. So what we found is that some folks get downright discouraged with some of their results, or surprised that maybe they weren't what they expected. And so what we wanted to do is take a few minutes tonight and just go through each of those sections and then give you a habit of health to address each one of those so that you have some way to improve in that area if you need it. And then you can talk to whoever invited you to the challenge about that, your health coach, who's supposed to here, because we're all a team, and we can help you with specific areas if you need to do that. So I think we'll start with that one. You want me to go ahead with number one, or?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Number one in the 8-point health assessment is you are what you eat. So we all kind of heard that all of our lives. We've heard that little joke: if you want to look like $1 million, don't eat off the dollar menu at McDonald's. And I guess that's really true. You are what you eat. Depending on how much you eat and what kind of food is very critical to your health. And the fact that you're here, I know I'm speaking to the choir, so I know you already know that. One thing that will lead to weight gain is eating more than you need. Someone has a lot of background noise on. If you have the television on or children playing, I hate to ask you, but would you mind muting?
Oh, that might be me.
Okay.
Well, I'm happy for the happy noises.
That's distraction.
I'll mute you, Jesse. Oh, you got it.
Okay, there we go.
Thanks.
I'm so sorry, Jesse, but thank you. I appreciate it. So eating more than you need obviously leads to weight gain. High glycemic foods, meaning foods that quickly turn into sugar, like high sugar vegetables like corn, certain kinds of potatoes, any kind of white flour, any kind of food that actually turns the water milky when you cook it, you can guarantee pretty much that that's high glycemic, and it will overwork your pancreas. And a lot of us who have eaten sugar all of our lives, some end up paying the price with diabetes, type 2 diabetes. Saturated fats and other foods cause inflammation. And we've learned in the last few years that all major diseases are caused from inflammation, which I find very exciting to know where a lot of the diseases come from, and that there's something we can do about it. So on the other hand, if we eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, emphasis on that, and good lean proteins, what eating that kind of food does is, number one, it turns off fat storage. And that's what we really like. It increases your metabolism. So you want to turn off the fat storage. It satisfies your hunger. And that's one cool thing about the program that we have too, is that it's totally balanced food and it turns off the cravings because your body is getting all the nutrition that it needs. It stabilizes your blood sugar. Boy, that just shoots diabetes out of the water, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. So if your blood sugar is level and everything's going good, well, diabetes can take a hike, and it does. It's really exciting. And when that happens, it lowers your insulin production, which gives your pancreas a break and allows your body to function without that stress. And it also quells the inflammatory fires. What that means is that it reduces inflammation. So that's what we want. And the habit of health that we're talking about at the moment, I'll tie it into eating small meals every 2 to 3 hours throughout the day. And it's very good, no matter what the fad diets are out there. Eating every 2 to 3 hours, like within a half hour of waking up and an hour before going to bed, is a brilliant thing to do, as long as it's not ice cream or, super fatty foods. Grabbing that healthy snack is just brilliant. And having something right before you go to bed will help you get through the whole evening without your blood sugar dropping. So you'll wake up feeling rested and a whole lot more energetic. So I'd like to introduce Maureen. And Maureen, would you please tell us about the second aspect?
All right. The second piece on the assessment is on the move. And so, as you know, in society, we are getting more and more sedentary. We are sitting around. We have computer jobs. We have office jobs. And we are not moving as much as we have been in the past. And so when we're tired and we're overweight, it takes a lot for us to get up and get moving around. And it's not as easy. So this part of the assessment was to remind us that there are simple ways for us to get up and get some extra steps in, and it encourages us to get up and move. So what we talk about is different ideas to give us those extra steps, like walking up the stairs instead of taking the elevator or the escalator. It's parking farther away. When you go shopping or you go to work, you park farther away so you're walking more. It's standing up periodically at your computer and moving around. I know a strategy that I use is I find the farthest bathroom from my office space, and I'm going to the bathroom a lot because I'm drinking lots of water. So I choose that bathroom. So I'm walking and getting more steps in and more movement in as I'm throughout my day. Another strategy that I use, if I stand a lot as I'm working. If I'm talking to colleagues, I stand up at my desk. I stand up and I'm moving around. And as I'm moving and getting some movement in. So the habit of health with this one is simply get your steps in, move. And so that's the second one. And I think, Terry?
Yep, I'm next. I get to do the inner you. Isn't that exciting? So that's just kind of about our stress level and our sleep. And that's a really important habit of health. Boy, a lot of research has been coming out about how important sleep is. And they've done studies on teenagers. They've done studies on people and weight gain. And people who don't sleep well tend to be heavier. All those things kind of impact us, and some of it relates to our stress levels. A lot of us are really under a lot of stress. Our work is very stressful. Our lives are very stressful and busy. So finding those places to have balance in our lives, to find some quiet time. I know that I get up a little bit earlier now and do some do a few things in the morning. I love that little baby.
I know, isn't he a dolly? He's beautiful, Jessie.
I'm sorry. I just saw that little baby. My grandma eyes were drawn to that. So just finding those places where you can find balance. So what are some things that you guys do that really helps you have to lower the stress in your lives? Maybe what are some things that you do to get to to help you get enough sleep? Are there some strategies that you guys have found that are helpful for you?
Go to bed early.
You know, that's really the trick, because sometimes we just are up too late. Sometimes it's just a matter of saying, I got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So that means I need to be in bed by 10, you know, and really making that a priority within your life. Really, they're finding a lot of research about the technology, our technology. If you're watching television in your bed, it's harder to go to sleep. I don't know about any of you, but I used to sleep with the TV on, and that's not good for you. You want to have it as dark as you can in the room. Another thing that I've, using my phone and my iPad, my girls, when they were younger, I really encouraged them to have their phones out of their rooms, and none of them do that. But your phone is beeping, and it's the light. There's a light coming on. There's all different kinds of things happening that disturbs your sleep. So those are some things. We have a great. I have a great tea that I drink about a half hour before I go to bed a lot of nights. It's really flavorful, and I really enjoy it. But it helps. I don't know. It's an herb tea, and it just makes me feel, it just helps me relax, and I do sleep better. So there's some different things out there like that are helpful to have some of those little rituals like we do for our children. You know how it's bath time, and then we have a story, and then we say our prayers, and then it's lights out. I mean, we need that kind of routine. We kind of got away from that as we got older. So those are some things that you can do. But there's meditation, prayer. I mean, reading your scriptures at night if you're a spiritual scripture reader. Those are kind of some things that kind of help you calm down and kind of put life back in perspective and keep balance. So look for those little rituals that help you relax, because you need that. So.
And I find that if I am active during the day, the more exercise, that consistent exercise, that I certainly do sleep better at night.
Yeah.
And if I am having a hard time, I like to lay flat on my back and just like tighten my foot muscles, and then just work all the way up my body and just hold it for the count of 20 and release, and then go to the next part. And by the time I'm finished, I'm a limp dish rag, ready to be knocked out.
That's when I push her out of the bed.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Well, we hold tension in different places of our bodies, and we don't even know it's there until you do stuff like that. So that's an excellent exercise. If you haven't done that before, it's really good. Start with your feet and work your way up, and tighten and relax muscles all the way up your body.
Thanks for sharing.
Okay, another thing that we do is we do put on sound like rain, and also listen to soft music for about a half hour before we go to sleep.
That's nice.
I have an app, technology, but there's an app I have on my iPad that's white noise, and I can black my screen out but still hear that white noise, and that's what it is. It's rain, or it's waves on the beach, that kind of thing. Yeah.
I just opened my door to the deck. I can hear those waves.
Oh, hush. We have crickets here.
Yeah.
Something else I do is to just stop in the middle of the day and focus on breathing deeply. Yeah. My goal is 10 breaths. Yeah. Sometimes I only make it to 5 before, something else interrupts that. Just stop and breathe.
Yeah, breathing deep.
And that's actually the next segment in the assessment. It's about breathe deep. It's about smoking. And some folks in their journey, they're still smoking, and that next step would be to break that habit. And it is so physically that it's one of the hardest addictions to break. So very often you're going to need help to do that. In this county, we have some excellent programs sponsored by the county, by Flagler County, for smoking cessation. They have classes, they have coaches, they're all free. They have patches and nicotine gum, and they know which combination to give you based on how much you smoke. So wonderful places there, because that's a habit that can be controlled, but it certainly can be helped by experts, people who have a lot of experience in this area. So I would really encourage you that if that's something you struggle with, don't be afraid to mention it. Don't be embarrassed to say, yeah, I'm still working on that habit.
That's
So
a tough
we all
habit.
have a step to go in another direction to get healthier. So that's a great one to start with in this challenge, to say, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to deal with that.
And every state has those resources, Carol. And almost every community has those same resources.
Mom, come here for a second. 1 second. Mom, come here.
Okay, so we're back to Deb.
Mom, I need you.
Okay. All right. Hi, guys. So the next thing that we want to talk about is weighing you down with a big question mark. And have any of you ever looked at a BMI chart, body mass index chart?
Mm-hmm.
And are you pretty familiar with that, being on this challenge? Does anybody need a little help understanding how that works? Everybody's cool with it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, what's that? Okay, I thought I heard somebody making noise out there. Okay, so really, if you already know how it works and you already know where your BMI is.
Hey, Deb, let me show them this feature, because this is a new Zoom. So what we can do is share screen. So there's a share screen button at the bottom, and I'm going to click on that.
Yes. Oh, great. Okay, thank you, Carol.
So we may not need this because you've seen it before, but now at least you know another feature of this cool Zoom functionality here.
Yeah. Okay, very, very cool.
So the folks on the phone, this is the disadvantage part, but we're showing a BMI chart. And down the left side is your height, and across horizontally is the weight. And you find those two where yours intersect, and look up at the top, and you'll see the number that's your BMI, your body mass index.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
Thank you,
course,
Carol. I appreciate that.
And of course, your goal is to be in the green range.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct. So yes, we just went over this with a gal about day before yesterday, and she wasn't even on the chart yet. And so that was a little disheartening to her, but not news. But how excited she got to realize that she's on the journey heading back. She's going that way to the green. And she's so excited. And the thing is, that's what we're all doing. We're all on the same journey. And really, I would encourage you not to really focus on numbers, not bad numbers, but start focusing on the good numbers that are coming up. Rick, could you share a little bit about your numbers, how important they were for you?
I was way out there in the obese range, and I think it was like a 37 BMI.
Talk louder, honey.
Okay. Yeah, it was about a 37 BMI. It was pretty high up there. But losing 75 pounds, I got down to a BMI of just on the borderline between the green and the yellow. So I'm pretty happy there.
Thank you, Rick. That is such good news. And that's what keeps us all going, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love that you shared that with us, Rick.
You talked earlier about sleeping. Because of being overweight, I had a bad case of sleep apnea.
Mm-hmm.
And losing 75 pounds, I can sleep now without the CPAP machine.
Wow, that's huge.
And the doctor was real pleased with that.
Yeah. Yay for Rick. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. So what we found out is that if you carry a lot of torso fat, and specifically in your belly area, you are more of a key person to have that sound like I'm yelling now. Have abdominal overweight. You can see the before and after of Rick and Carol. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing what just losing a little bit of weight can do for you. And again, I don't know if you understand quite how inflammation works, and I'll make it super fast. But if you have a lot of tummy fat, then the organs in your torso are surrounded by fat. So you end up having a fatty pancreas, a fatty heart, a fatty liver. a fatty, whatever, and the fat around that particular organ secretes a certain amount of toxin related to that organ. So let's say if the fat around your heart is secreting toxins, then you are more prone to having heart disease, high blood pressure, things like that. If you have a fatty pancreas, you're more prone to diabetes, because remember, this is what inflammation is all about. It causes major diseases. So, the most exciting thing I can say is that it's just a mile marker, guys. I mean, we're all moving ahead and we're all focusing on our future selves, right? Mm-hmm. So where we're going is what you want to think about and focus on that. Not about where you are right now necessarily. If that motivates you to do something, then hey, cool. But what you really want to focus on is your future self and your future. So that's good enough talking about the BMI. Maureen, would you please carry on now with talking about testing?
All right. Well, we're running a little short on time, but I'm going to talk about testing. It's real important that you have a full panel of blood work. And if you go back into the assessment, it's going to tell you all of the things that you want to have tested. So make sure you're looking at that. Make sure when you go to the doctor that they are testing all of those areas. And you do that once a year. You're checking your levels and you're making sure that everything is okay and those levels are good. It's real important to understand them and know where you need to be at with those levels, and your doctor's following you. So very important to have that annual physical and have that testing done. Yep. So very cool. Let's see.
I'm going to go right into start where you are. I'm froze up. One of the things that we talked about, you guys, is if you're not happy with where you are in your assessment, you're on the journey. So, just take what you have right now and then pick a couple items that you want to work on. So if your weight is in a good place, but maybe you need to kick up your exercise, or maybe your stress levels are not good, or you're sleeping poorly, or maybe you're just not eating very healthy, even though your weight is you're at a good BMI. Focus on one area at a time. Don't feel like you've got to change the world. Just start moving forward. And that's one thing I really love about the challenge, is because it really helps you focus. Okay, am I drinking enough water? Okay, I can focus on that today. I can make sure I drink enough water today. I can get out and move a little bit today. So just take those little steps and just keep moving forward. Just keep doing a little bit better every day. When I started this 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, I was in the unhealthy category, and I just retook the assessment, and now right now I'm in optimal health. And I'm really excited about that. Actually, I was kind of surprised about that. But there's still things that I can do to improve. And I backslide once in a while, and I have to move forward again. So it's just, you're always working on it. You're always keeping it in your mind. So it's just a journey, and there's exciting things along the way. And, we get better as we go. And just like anything, we need to sharpen our saw once in a while. So just keep moving forward.
Yep, that's right.
And the habit of health for that, and for all of these areas really, is the Stop Challenge Choose that you've already been introduced to through the challenge, so that no matter which area it is, stop, take an assessment there, and here's the piece I want to work on, like Terry said, and then challenge it. Where do I want to be? How does that fit with my goals, and what behavior do I want to put in place? Choose an effective behavior for that piece that you're working on. That way it's controllable, it's in small bites, okay? The last section was the all in the family section, and that can really be a struggle because you don't have any control over that. Some of you may not even know the answers to that. I know folks either who are adopted, were raised by folks other than their actual blood relatives, or their folks have died. You don't have access to that information. So the key there is to be aware of it if you can be, and then make a choice that that's not going to be an excuse, but it's something to factor in, especially like Maureen said, when you go and get the blood work and the physical, that you're counting that variable in, because it will affect things, but it doesn't have to be your answer. You can change that, like Deb talked about with that eating every 2.5, 3 hours. eating low glycemic foods. That can just stop the inflammation in the diabetes tract very quickly. So even if all your relatives had it, you can control that, and you might be able to just stop it altogether. My sister was obese, and now she's lost, not quite 100 pounds, and she's no longer considered diabetic. She's off all of her medications.
Oh,
So
bless her heart.
it is possible to reverse the impact of those unhealthy habits by making a choice. So you can do that and either reduce or eliminate those factors. What questions do you have about the assessment? Anything that we can address at this point? No?
Nope. Okay.
Nope, good.
Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up, everybody. We're so very, very grateful that you all came on tonight. It means the world to us. It's just so fun to share this journey with you. We're honored and very privileged to be here together. This is so much fun, isn't it? And we'll meet up again next week, same time. Is that correct, everyone?
8:30 Central Time.
8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern, and we'll have the same, I believe we're going to have the same Zoom address too. Is that correct? The same link?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So have fun out there. Just keep plugging along step by step. And we're all in this together, and we love you guys. And just
go back to the challenge wall and click "Yes, I was on it" to get your 5 bonus points.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yes,
And
exactly.
Y'all are winners.
share your insights on your team,
Yeah.
on your challenge team wall. Share your insights about the assessment with your friends who weren't on tonight, and encourage them to join us next week and talk to your coach.
Okay.
All right.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Perfect.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for
Good night.
coming.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Bye.
Carrie, do you know how to push